Well, if I have to teach you how to be a reporter, Ollie, I'll do that
Really?
later.
Is that so? Hey man, shut up!
And no, I'll give you lessons on how to become a reporter.
Friends, today, instead of talking about President Trump and the Russian connection and all that stuff going on, because let's face it, there's a million other videos about it going on right now. I'd be buried in the search engine mix or YouTube even if I put the time in to make a video. But I want to ask everyone out there an age-old question that I've had. It's about Star Trek. And I've come to understand about Star Trek that there's some people who embrace it, who love it, who get it. And then there's other people who just don't get it and probably never will. I regret to inform you that I fall in the latter category, but I do want to get it. I do want to like Star Trek. I remember my early memories of that as a very young child in the 70s, watching that TV show and just going, I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool when they teleported, when they said, Scotty, beam me up. I remember being scared forever on the end credits when you'd see this picture. That was a scary dude. I never knew what all that was about. But then as the years progressed, like Star Wars I got into. I like sci-fi. I like Star Wars. I like a lot of different sci-fi movies. I love the Alien movies. Love all that stuff. But Star Wars was kind of simple. The story was, believe it or not, a little simpler. The Force, good versus bad, superpowers, guns, lasers, ships. Got it. I get that. But with Star Trek, we get into deeper layers. And I find myself getting lost. And I look back to a very good friend of mine growing up who unfortunately is no longer with us. But I always have memories of him when Star Trek The Next Generation came out. Him very distinctly saying to me, do not call me or leave a message on my machine between this time and this time, because that's when Star Trek The Next Generation is on, and I don't like being bothered. You're not going to get a response. He was just so enamored with that. He might have even gone to some of those conventions where people dressed up. He was so into Star Trek, and he was a very intellectual person. And I remember one time saying to him, I just don't get it. I don't get this Star Trek thing. Just try and explain it. But he wasn't the most patient person. That I can definitely say. And, after about a 5-minute conversation, he was trying to explain the Borg to me. I was just like, what? I didn't understand. And he just got very angry, and it really kind of discouraged me on the whole Star Trek thing. So over the years, there's been different offshoots of the TV show. Voyager, Deep Space, whatever the hell it was. There's been several movies. I do remember when I was younger watching the first Star Trek with V'ger, which turned out to be, I believe it was one of the initial satellites or deep space probes, Voyager. It just became so smart from collecting all the intelligence it got. I kind of forget that one. Wrath of Khan, of course. But I just found it very kind of confusing, slow-moving. A lot of the action and fighting sequences were very boring, to say the least. I mean, at least in Star Wars, they saw them with the lightsabers. They were going to go at it. But it's one of these things that's eternally plagued me because I do consider myself a relatively smart person. Now, a lot of people might argue against that. But Star Trek is something that I really wanted to get. And just no one's had the patience to really explain it to me. What the appeal is. What would make me want to dress up and go to these conventions? Like, what are those guys called there? No, not Trekkies. The Klingons. What wants to make me dress up like a Klingon and make me go to one of those conventions? I don't know. But I want to like it and I want to understand it, but I'm at a roadblock and I have been for about 30 years. I need someone to explain to me the whole appeal of Star Trek, and I'm going to try again. I'm going to just stay positive, stay focused, and stay on this. But I need your help. Explain the appeal of Star Trek to me. Explain it to me. Comment below. Hey folks, Brian here for Here It Is TV. Love me or hate me, you know I'm going to ask those questions that people just don't want to ask. Take a second, click subscribe, and we'll see you next time.